With the mass cancellation of flights by IndiGo and fares of other airlines skyrocketing, Indian Railways has come to the rescue, added 116 extra coaches to 37 trains, mostly in Southern Railway, Northern Railway and Western Railway. The coaches included 2-tier, 3-tier and chair car AC coaches. More coaches would be added to trains heading to other destinations soon. The officials said the berths would be allotted on a first-come, first-served basis, as the reservation for these extra coaches were not accessed to the computerized reservation system yet. In total, the arrangements are expected to handle 35,000 passengers per day, ensuring connectivity for nearly 26 lakh passengers during this period. All right, ED India's Shubhendu Ghosh joins us to talk more on this from the newsroom. Shubhendu, what's the situation on the ground right now? We saw passengers are still unhappy. How widespread are the delays and cancellations since morning?
Hello, Abhishek. Well, the crisis regarding IndiGo flight operations continues. The complaints that the passengers have had for the past 4th day, it enters the 5th day now. Over 1,000 flights of IndiGo have been cancelled in these days, and that crisis is going to continue for some time. It's been acknowledged by the IndiGo CEO himself, saying that till about February next year, it will take time for them to stabilize the disruptions that have come in. At the heart of the issue lies IndiGo's inability to adapt to a new reform that was introduced. It's called Flight Duty Time Limitation, FDTL. Although this reform has been put in abeyance by the government now, it was meant to ensure that the crew, the pilots, their issues of fatigue can be addressed significantly. The time that they take to take breaks in a week, how much can they fly at night? Those were some of the resolutions. But given that IndiGo is in fact the largest domestic airline in the country, covering about 65% of the air passengers in the country, even 10% disruption resulted in over 200 flights getting cancelled every day and thousands of passengers being stranded, as is the case still is. But the government has also stepped in a significant way. Ministry of Civil Aviation, Abhishek, has particularly tried to address the issue of peak pricing. Unusually high prices are being noticed by some airlines amidst this crisis of IndiGo Airlines, and government has introduced for this timeline, it's used this regulatory power to enforce a fair price cap. So till this crisis is resolved, airlines will not be able to charge unusually high fares, particularly on some routes that are prominently impacted by IndiGo's operation failure. Meanwhile, to IndiGo, the government, the ministry has directed very clearly that the refunds have to be issued for all the cancelled flights. The refunds has to be issued. A clear timeline has been given by 8 p.m. tomorrow, Sunday, 7th of December. All the pending refunds must be cleared by IndiGo. Also, passengers who are trying to reschedule, if their flight is able to reschedule, no additional charges should be borne by the passengers. Instructions have also been given to IndiGo to ensure well-being of the vulnerable sections of the passengers, particularly students, senior citizens, people with health issues. Although the crowd swelling in some of the major airports in Delhi who were planning to travel by IndiGo Airlines, but the government has directed that even despite the challenges, the convenience, the safety of passengers cannot be compromised.
Absolutely. But Shubhendu, the Ministry of Civil Aviation has imposed strict fare caps. You have also told us how the measures are being taken by the government. But when do we expect the situation to ease, and is there any clarity on how soon normal schedules can resume?
Abhishek, given that IndiGo was in fact the only airline which was impacted so badly, it's given its size, which is both its strength and weakness. It controls about 65% of the domestic aviation market, flies around 2,200 broadly number of flights every day, which is much higher than any other airline in the country, and therefore IndiGo had to prepare better, particularly vis-a-vis its staff and administration, in view of the reform that was introduced by the government. But the government has put the FDTL reform in abeyance for now to give some relief to the aviation sector, to IndiGo Airlines in particular, although it has said that passenger convenience and airline safety cannot be compromised at any cost. In view of these relaxations, IndiGo has said that it will still need time to adapt to improving the crisis at the moment. Remember, it is also the festive season. It's going to be New Year's. People travel during winter vacation, so the crowds swell. Crisis coming at this time really makes the problem bigger than it usually is any other time of the year. So February next year is when IndiGo says it will be able to resolve these operational challenges. Meanwhile, other airlines are stepping up. They're trying to accommodate more passengers. Indian Railways, as you mentioned, has also come to the rescue, fares being relatively cheaper and the services being credible. In that sense, passengers do have an alternative, but it has been advised that all passengers, especially who had booked themselves on IndiGo Airlines, should brace for disruptions, should have essential supplies with them while they're traveling to the airport, because they may have to wait for a longer duration. And most importantly, before they leave their homes, they should check if their flight is on or is being cancelled. So there are things that the passengers themselves can do to bring some ease in the days ahead.
Absolutely, and next few days, Shubhendu, will be very crucial if people are planning to travel. We'll leave it at that. Thank you for getting us the latest on that story, Shubhendu.